And welcome to episode shit. I already lost. I
700
don't know.
and
118.
700 and oh, you lost? Oh no, I just lost the game. Oh no.
Okay. You all right, bud?
Oh no.
Oh,
No.
he's playing
Oh,
Yahtzee,
oh no.
and he just lost to either his mother or his father.
No. People who are listening, if you know you lost, and I just lost, and I don't.
Well, you lost because you've got that ugly ass hat on your head.
No, them so pretty. Ian would know. Ian, I just lost the game. You'll know. You'll know when I say it. I just lost the game. It's the worst. I can't.
Wow,
Anyways,
this show
hi
sucks
everybody.
already. So let's see. I'm your host. Retirement is nice.
It's pretty funny.
My
I'm
name is
proud of you.
Tim. With me today is the true king of the North, Calvin
King.
Lockie.
The king.
Calvin, how you doing, bud?
Great, buddy. I am having a good day, and the sun is shining.
I love it when the sun
The
suns.
sun
Just like,
shines every day.
and joining us, Brian has some excuse of being in Ireland or something like that, or so he says.
Whatever.
It's a BS excuse.
I mean, his snaps all came from there, but I don't know.
Checks out.
I don't know. Checks out, I guess. So joining us is a special guest. So by special, we mean special.
Oh, very special.
Very special. All the way from the thriving metropolis of Nashua, New Hampshire. She is the proprietor or one of the proprietors or co-proprietors or whatever you want to have down that way. Family ownership of Leda Lanes. Lexy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, woke up breathing.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Wow. Well, there you have it, folks.
Hey,
that's how we.
You should be happy. The Celtics won yesterday.
I am ecstatic that the Celtics won.
Good.
And the stinking 76ers lost.
I know. You got to trust the process, though.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Whatever
I don't know
you
how
do,
long the process is supposed to last, but
trust the process.
Trust the process.
Yikes.
They did better than the Bruins.
We don't talk about the Bruins.
I'm still salty.
Can we mute Ian on?
No, we don't need to.
No, because
Ian's a smart fella. I mean, he's a Habs fan, but he's still a smart fella.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I don't like to. I don't know. It's just a thing. It's a thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and the Red Sox blew it last night.
Oh my God!
Oh my God, man!
Oh no, we suck again.
They blew it to like the worst team in the first half, like crazy.
So let's open this up with actual bowling talk for a second.
Why? We're having so much fun.
Because
we're 3 minutes in, Tim. Just have some fun, man. It's okay. It's okay to just have fun.
So what do you want to talk about?
Oh no, you don't watch wrestling, so it's not as fun anymore. There's a guy who comes up and he starts the show as he goes, so what do you want to talk about? It's just fun, but now it's not. I don't know. Who do you think's going to win the Stanley Cup now?
I want the Kraken.
You know what? I got my money on Vegas.
I do too.
I don't know who. If it's going to be Carolina and Vegas in the finals, and man, do I want to see that. That is going to be a hard hitting.
I'd like the Kraken only because I have a friend who lives out in the Seattle area.
So we're going?
Well, her and her family have season tickets to the Kraken.
So we're going.
So we're going.
So we're going.
Road trip.
So what you're saying is we're going.
And it was cool. Like she was at the game 6, and she knows obviously that I'm a Bruins fan, so she was snapping me during the game, and I'm just like, okay, that's actually such a cool atmosphere there.
Right.
Just like Vegas. Like Vegas is such a cool atmosphere for a hockey game. I mean, not as good as the Garden, but just saying.
I was at game 5, so I don't know how cool you want to think it is, but it wasn't very cool.
Well, I like going to the games there. They're a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
fun. Like I was at the Canadians, Bruins Canadians game the end of the year when Bruins smacked the Canadians all over the ice. That was fun.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I think we could smack the Canadians all over the ice. Like they're not good.
That is true. I am going to open this up with a question. I had a
Ooh.
question for Lexy.
I like questions.
Question: has anyone ever accidentally or purposely injured their own teammate during a tournament? And I asked this, well, not just Lexi, I can ask Calvin too. That comes from our Habs lover, Angela Paquette.
Hey, if I was bowling with Angela and I did, and she wanted to go bowl, I would purposely injure her too. So
Yeah, I mean, I think people have injured themselves. I don't think necessarily anybody's injured somebody else. Purposely
Apparently,
or unpurposely. I don't know.
apparently she accidentally
right, accidentally.
punched Hoagie in the nose this past weekend and gave him a bloody nose.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm laughing
Accidentally.
so hard right now. Oh,
I can tell.
That is so good. I'm so laughing. What? Oh, she's just, I can't handle her sometimes. Like, why? What would you?
I don't know.
Anyways,
Why would you want to
I
punch Hoagie?
digress.
He's like the nicest kid ever.
Yeah, why would you want to punch Hoagie? Like, what person would ever want to go up and go, "Hey, Hoagie, let me punch you in the nose"?
That just sounds like a stinking
Well, like,
Habs fan.
maybe they went for a high five and missed, or like a fist bump and just,
I have seen that.
Don't try
Like-
to defend her.
just
Calvin nutshotted me. Well, okay, we do have certain standards on this show.
I
Yeah,
didn't think there was, though. I mean,
we're not talking about nuts here. Like,
Okay.
this is for the after show.
Oh,
Yeah,
the after show is about nut shots.
this is the rip in the rack after hours, and I'm talking about ripping her rack, everybody. Oh yeah.
This might have been a bad idea having Calvin on tonight.
What do you mean? I'm on every night
I'm sure you are.
from 9 to 5.
So, Lexi, how's the summer looking for you guys down there?
We're good. Summer's slow anyway, but we do a lot of maintenance in the summer. Our leagues are pretty good. We've got stuff and we've got mixed worlds to look forward to next month. So that's keeping us busy and prepared. I used to think summers were time to relax, but now with all this stuff coming up, I don't have time to relax. So, we're excited for that. We've got our tournaments the end of the summer into the fall, so that keep us busy too. But
Okay.
we're excited for mixed worlds, getting prepared for that, going through all the lanes and stuff.
So how? Just out of curiosity, because I know
Those are nice.
I know where you guys go 18 and 18.
Yeah.
There's 24 teams. How are they going to do it? Are they going to do 6-on-1 and 18 over here, or
No, 12 and 12? Why not?
We haven't really discussed that, but I would assume it'd be 12 and 12. That's how we did it when we had the invitational. When we did it.
Well, there was two divisions. There was two divisions.
Yeah, so
I
don't.
I mean,
I don't
assume,
know. We haven't really.
I mean, not that I like to be greedy, but are we closing down the whole center, or are you going to have open bowling?
I don't know. We haven't really. I don't know. I mean, I would assume if we have open lanes, we're going to put people. We're not that busy on the weekends anyway, so unless it's a rainy weekend. But what's good about us is we have the glow bowling to fall back on. We've got the separate building of 12 lanes across the parking lot. So, I mean,
that's
more than
where
likely,
everybody goes over and bowls. Fucking A, that's it. Everybody bowls. All 24 teams over on the other side. 4 teams to a,
perfect.
Yeah.
Listen,
We could just do it all night long. All night long.
Listen, Susie, just because she's on the podcast doesn't mean you need to finally show up. Like, that's enough that you do. I think you need to get the fuck on. I'll open bowling next to Calvin. I'll open bowling next to you, bud, and we'll see what happens.
He's
Yeah,
not
my
bowling.
ass.
He's working. So
That's all right. I'm not on a roster either.
Find a time, don't you worry.
I wasn't good
yeah,
enough.
but
That's because I wouldn't want you on
We'll
my
probably-
roster. So
Tim, you can be on my roster.
Thank you.
I watched you bowl for 15 strings. That
Oh
was
my god, that
enough.
was so goddamn painful.
That was,
But we had
that was
fun.
enough.
You got to admit, we had fun.
Of course, I had fun. I enjoy making fun of you. It's the best time of my life.
Yeah, we probably won't put any
I like
open
how Lexi
bowling
brings
next
us
to
back
a
to bowling.
tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. She's just trying to let's go, guys. Come on.
No, so we haven't really discussed it. I'm sure in the next couple of weeks we'll kind of figure out, what's going, but
Right.
we're willing to do whatever we need to do, we'll do. That's kind of been our motto. So
That's what I
Well,
hear.
Jesus.
I might be having too much fun. There might be. Hey, Ian, as long as the kids have cake that I can have, you can put whatever kids you want beside us in a birthday
perfect.
party. As long as they have cake and pizza, I'm good. So that's got to be, if they call to make a reservation, you tell them.
And it
I
didn't-
will.
Look, the last time that I bowled in a tournament and they put kids next to me was not.
Yeah, we talked about this plenty of times. Tim.
Yeah.
We know you don't like kids. We get it.
I do like kids.
We
just
get,
not
we
bowling
get it.
next to
We
me.
know you abuse kids.
I
We know.
I don't.
Whoa! Wow, this is
I-
live there. Jesus.
Hey, to be honest, every parent should abuse their child at least once. They understand. Oh man, kids,
Wow.
I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood.
Corporal
tonight.
punishment's legal, so
Yeah. All right, let's talk bowling so I can get.
Oh my God,
I'm getting more.
Calvin. So let's start up north. What's going on up north?
We don't need to. It's fine. I'm just
Nope, we're talking up north.
All right.
This is your
up
time
north.
to shine.
Yeah, my time to shine. Hey, it is kind of my time to shine. Not that I like to brag or anything, but
Nico, we're not talking New Hampshire State. We don't like New Hampshire.
No, we don't. Nico, it's okay. We'll get there. Nobody likes New Hampshire. It's okay.
The New Hampshire president's horrible too.
Hey, shh. That's enough out of you. I'm talking. This is your time to shush.
Wow.
We're talking Canada, not stinky New Hampshire. Okay, here we go. So a couple weeks ago was the B provincials for the men at the Bowladrome in Fredericton. First place was the Kingswood team, which consisted of, let's see if I can find it here quickly, Aaron Roach, Corey Smith, Devin Brooks, Gary Allward, Jamie Boyle, Ryan Flynn, Scott Grant, and Travis Wallace. So they ended up first. Second place was Moncton, which consisted of Brandon Romard, Chad Reed, Dave Duguay, Dave Warren, Josh LeBlanc, Justin Jones, and Michele Bourgeois. And then third place was our Grand Lake team, consisting of myself, Corey LeBurc, Danny Boucher, Jamie Emberley, Jason McCoy, Kyle Emberley, Mike Richardson, and Ricky Bourgeois. And the high single was a tie between two gentlemen, Justin Jones and Randy Mahoney. And this will attest to how difficult this place is. High single was 152 for 33 strings.
Ooh.
Yeah, 152 was the high string of the week.
Where was this again?
Bowldrome in Fredericton. The Main Street Bowldrome. Did you you weren't there for Corey's tournament back in 2018?
No.
So back then when he had his Dave Stewart Memorial, the high average for the day was 118. And that included a team with Dave Godwin, and we had A+ was there, and Fenway I think came. They had a team, and yeah, so it was tough. It's a very tough house. Another thing that could attest to that is there were 3, 4, 5, 6 guys over 110 average for the week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough, very rough. I had high average at 121. Second high average was Justin Jones at 117.9, and Corey Smith was 116.3. So yeah, lots of tough bowling there, but a good tournament, fun tournament. Everybody had a blast. Everybody was laughing. It was a lot of fun. So that was that. This past weekend was the Bob Ollerton, I can't remember, Memorial. Yes, at Heather Lanes in New Glasgow in Nova Scotia. Nobody has updated the final standings as of now that I've noticed. But I know that the first place team was Mike Richard, and I can't remember the brunt of them, but I believe it was Mike Richard, Serge Hashi, Lisa Levesque, Tanya Wilson, and I think there was a couple more that I'm not thinking of. But I know that they ended up first, and Angela's team ended up third. I don't remember who came second or fourth or fifth, but and going into the last couple strings, I believe Eric McGuigan had the high average at 127 for the men, and Melissa Sinton was at 115 for the women. So I don't know how any of that ended up, but that was that tournament. Coming up, I don't think there's much. Ladies Provincials, May 19th to the 21st, so that's this weekend. I don't know if the city tournament in Woodside is still going or not. I haven't seen anything about that. And then Can-Ams is coming up. Everybody who bowls out of Moncton, I need your money. So nobody has sent me any money. So I need your money. I think the cutoff is May 23rd or 25th, I think, or something like that. So if you haven't gotten me your money and you've given it somewhere else, at least let me know so I can figure that out. Yeah, I think that's about it. And then Mixed Worlds. Booyah.
Well, Mixed Worlds, that's an American thing.
Yeah, but it's Canadian. We're invading now. We're starting to invade these tournaments. Easter Classic. We're making our way in, just slow and steady.
Why?
Taking over.
Second.
Yeah, they come second. Doesn't matter. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. They're all Canadians. Whatever. It's just the way it is.
America. Fuck yeah.
America. Die. Live free or die.
So, Lexi, what's going on in New Hampshire?
Oh, we just finished up our states, which we've worked hard. Rob's done a really good job to bring it back. Something that, when I became president, him and I sat down and said, we want to bring it back to what it was. And, where we know the NHCBA is kind of on a couple of rebound years from what it was. So that's something that we worked hard. We brought back the all events roll off that completed last night. So you had Josh Daly and Maddie Kelly Riva that won for the men and women. Sorry.
Getting a little tacky here by Dot.
Yeah, he just sat on me. I don't know. He doesn't like when the attention's not on him, as you can tell here.
Yeah.
So that's good. And
that was really. I'm gonna give Paul Grant some love here. I give him some shit sometimes, but I got to give the guy some love. It was actually really good to be able to sit back at home and watch.
It was.
I thought he did a really good job announcing. It's tough in a small house like that environment with not a lot of people, to show some enthusiasm without bothering
the bowling.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And I've done it, meaning I've done some announcing like that. I know how hard that is. And I thought he actually did a really good job with toning down some of the enthusiasm, but still making it,
Still giving it.
still giving it some excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
when
not
we
bothering
when
bowlers.
when we decided that we were going to bring the roll off back, that's one thing that Rob and I both agreed on, that it would be, we wanted it streamed. That was kind of that, regardless of how we did it, we wanted it to be streamed.
Yeah.
Just because, we're trying to bring New Hampshire back into, good graces, I guess, as far as the organization goes. And, that's one thing that we wanted to do to show, what we're trying to accomplish, I guess.
Well, so it was, I tell you, there was some really great bowling this weekend all around, the men and women. Not taking anything away from Maddie, that match that Alana had with Sonia, I mean,
Yeah.
that was fantastic. I think Alana just ran out of, either she ran out of gas, or a combination of she ran out of gas and some nerves got the best of her.
Yeah.
It's not easy knowing that you've got to bowl 10 strings against, one of the best women bowlers out there. And Maddie is certainly one of the best women bowlers out there. I know if you ask Evan, she'll say she is the best. But I think you can make an argument between, Maddie, Amanda, Jill, and probably Tasha as the 4 best right now, with some really good competition coming up.
Yeah,
So
very much so.
And the fact is, Maddie went 1270, 1280.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, no one was going to beat her yesterday.
No, not yesterday. No.
Yeah.
And then that match with Josh and Evan.
That was just nuts. For like 3 strings, they went ball for ball, even not even box for box. They went ball for ball.
Yeah.
Those 5 boxes, I think, when they both went, when Evan went 150 and Josh went 140, I think it was the second or third string, and they were just the back 5. They each had 5 marks, and Evan finished with a strike and on a spare to get the extra 10 pins on Josh. Like it was just, they went insane, and and I crap on them both, and I do. And I haven't messaged Evan yet, but I'll get to it when I get to it. But but I messaged Josh as soon as he won, and I said, man, like I give you all the credit in the world. Like, that was incredible bowling. Like, you, even when he pushed in your face, you still were on the head pin. You weren't throwing off to the side. I mean, yeah, you got frustrated a couple of times, but you were composed and you earned that win. Like, you bowled awesome. And I don't give him that very often.
It's really difficult when you're young, and Josh is young, to have success at a young age and to be able to have that composure to come back, because Evan was on the verge of running away with that.
Oh yeah.
He was on the verge of running away with that, and then he got a little full. Yeah. He started punching. He started leaving, some splits, and Josh took advantage.
Yeah.
But the dude made up 70 pins in 2 strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to give Josh credit, and I'll give Evan credit for he could have
rolled over.
He could have rolled over at the end of that 9th string, coming into the 10th, and he didn't. I think he started pressing in the back half of that 10th. You could see it a little bit.
Yeah.
But holy shit, the spare that Josh made in the 9th, and then the wicked hammer on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
even the shot he made, and I think it was in the 6th. I can't remember if it was the 6th or the 7th box, maybe. And it was a weird, I think he left the head pin, but it was a weird kind of break, and it just went like a shot. And it was just to make that kind of stuff after you throw kind of a bad ball. And I think Evan had a weird 8-pin break or something, or a weird mix of match off the head pin, and he just kind of made it in his face. And it was like, man, that's in the 10th string in the 6th box of a 2-pin match. Yeah, because he was on the spare in the 5th, and then he missed it down the side, and it was a 7-pin break. I don't remember what it was now, but it was a weird break, and he made it. And I'm just like, man, that's it. It's over. Like, sorry, but there's no way. I don't think you're gonna. His intensity was up, and then Evan just started pushing the last 3 boxes, and he made a nice shot in the 9th, I think, the 9th box, but then couldn't, or the 8th box.
Eighth box.
But then ripped the guts, and yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, that was a great match. That was that was a fun one to watch. So I was really glad that was streamed. To be able to see that. So Lexy, congrats that as a fact that you're president of the association down there. That was a well-run tournament. So congratulations on that, as well as Rob did a fantastic job.
His staff, amazing. I know Leslie helped out a lot, and it was great. The standings being updated, on the fly, everything, super thankful to have him and his staff. So.
Well, that they did.
Yeah.
Obviously I've got a lot of years experience up in Maine with the Maine tournaments and stuff like that. And the way that they ran that over the last, 2 months, month and a half, whatever.
Month and a week. Yeah.
Yeah. Call it a month and a half. We'll call it a month and a half.
Felt like 6 months, but yeah.
Any idea on next year? Is it going to stay back with Exeter? Is it going to go to Park Place? Too soon? Too
Ouch.
Wait, too soon?
We have a meeting.
We have a meeting.
We have a meeting. In a couple, we have the ICBA has their annual meeting. I have an ICBA meeting tomorrow for the Hall of Fame. And then we have a meeting in June. Stop.
Did he just lick the back of your neck?
Yeah, he did.
He's like, hey, attention.
Yeah,
hello.
That's literally what it is. We have a meeting. The ICBA has their annual meeting in June, and then the NHCBA usually has their meeting after that. And that's where we kind of determine all of that. I know Rob had said he'd love to have it again, and I definitely I don't want it. So
I don't want it.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, there's.
I mean, I do want it. Obviously, I will do anything for the community. But if Rob did a phenomenal job, and I have no problem with it being back there. I don't think anybody really does. So,
I mean, I'm not gonna. I've done enough crapping on some centers that I won't go there with a certain few, but they're becoming few and far between in New Hampshire.
Yeah, and I think the proof is in the pudding. Why and how, what happens.
I could go for some pudding.
There's pudding.
I like pudding.
There was no pudding
love
at the Easter Classic. Next
there
year
was
that's
actually
on the menu. What? No,
there was. No, there was, but there was.
No, there wasn't. No, you're lying to me.
I made it. Okay.
So how many? Do you know how many centers are left in New Hampshire that are in part of the association? Like, I know it's kind of off the top of your head, but
6.
Is it okay?
Ish. You have Lakeside, Exeter, Leda, Butwells, King Lanes, and it would have been Park Place would be 6. Okay. So now we have 5. Concord.
Okay, I haven't bowled there.
Yeah, they're not very active in it. They did send some bowlers over to the States. I know they came over new ownership a couple of years ago, but they don't. I wouldn't know who they were if I crossed them on the street. But we do communicate via email. But so
okay. Ian, I can tell you my opinion of the old Hanwell. I actually like the old Hanwell.
The old Hanwell was great
in Fredericton.
Missed the old Hanwell. They actually cared about the bowling.
Well, it was consistent, and that's all I've ever asked for. Is I want decent scoring conditions that are consistent. So I don't like them sloppy one day, and then 2 days later, all of a sudden it's like they dip them in cement and they don't move. Just make it consistent. That's all.
Yeah.
just consistent. No, that was cool. I like the way. I wish there was a way that. How do I word this? So Maine has far too many state tournaments.
Yeah.
And I like how it's spread out over the year.
Yeah,
But I
that is
also
something
like-
that
Go ahead.
Rob and I have talked about. We love that idea, but it is spread out a lot. Something like that where it's not. That's when we had said that we wanted to do the states, we knew we wanted to do it like a month long. And my big thing is I wanted there to be weekday events, for people that can't, like I work every weekend. So, I was able to bowl on a Monday night to get up there, and I did doubles. I didn't bowl very good at all, but
But see, that's the thing I like about the Maine states. I mean, I should say I liked, meaning in the past, because it used to be a lot of people that would bowl in it, and it, you win and you'd actually make some money.
yeah.
I like the fact, and the difference between Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts is, you look at the singles for Maine is 10 strings, the doubles for Maine, the mixed doubles are all 10 strings, teams of 5 strings, and mixed teams of 5 strings. You look at Mass and you look at New Hampshire, and all of a sudden your singles are 5 strings, your doubles are 5 strings, your mixed doubles are 5 strings, and your teams and mixed teams are only 3 strings.
Right.
And I always was, now a little bit different from Maine, is I have to drive, sometimes a couple hours to get to a tournament. So for me, it was, if I'm going to drive that far, I want to bowl 5 strings. I want to bowl 10 strings. I don't want to go and bowl a 3-string tournament.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely, any criticism that's constructive, I'm willing to listen to.
Well, is there a reason why, and I know it's always been that way, that there are 3 strings for teams?
I honestly just want to say it's because it's always been that way. I don't think anybody, that's a lot of the pushback that I've received is when I question something, it's always been that way. That's how we've always done it. And that is partly why I became president. I mean, I think in the Candlepin community, you have that a lot too. Like, it's just always been that way, Why is Easter start at 11? Because it always has been that way. Like, people don't like change.
I mean, why change something that isn't broken?
Well, the Easter Classic isn't broken.
I'm just using that as an example. I guess that was kind of a poor example, but there's been a lot of pushback. Just why do we do it this way? Well, it's just because we've always done it. And, Rob is really good at like questioning it, and him and I work really, really well together. And, just like, he'll text me, be like, you have a minute for a call, 15 minutes. And 45 minutes later, I'm like, all right, I gotta go. We're definitely interested. One thing they changed last year was they brought it from 5-person teams to 4. Yep. Not last year, a couple years ago. Yep. And we said, no, absolutely. We want to bring it back to 5 for the men's and women's. That was just something that we received a lot of negative feedback on, because how can you, for any records, you can't break records with 4 people. So that was something that we definitely
and
wanted to bring back. And
if you look at the world records, you look at doubles, I am pretty sure it's 5 strings. But Maine doesn't do a 5-string, so we can't ever, Maine can't break a record because we're bowling 10 strings.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is so much inconsistency amongst the states, and we're not even talking Canada.
Yeah, absolutely. There absolutely is, and I don't.
Okay. My feedback, I would love to see, and again, I know I'm not bowling. I know I'm not a part of it, but from a standpoint of a bowler that used to bowl, I would love to see it. Probably, Seuss. I would think the first 5 would count, but
I would assume. I mean, yeah, I would assume so.
But then again, I look at like Mark Smith and I when we set the main record at 2780. we bowled better in the second half than we did the first half.
Right.
We had a better back five than we did front five.
Right.
So it's one of those, I don't know.
I'll definitely bring it up. I think it's, we're like I said, any ideas we're willing to listen to, for absolutely. So
how about being really strange and just talking amongst the states themselves, going, hey, Maine, hey, Mass, hey, why don't we all run these similar? And then you have consistency amongst all three states.
There is an annual ICBA meeting in June, and the position
Tim.
for president is open. So
you're running?
You're in, Tim.
No,
you're not running.
I'm not.
Is it a full-time position for president of the ICBA, or is it a part-time position?
I don't know.
That is a pay cut for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, Maria, who's the executive director, she's amazing. Yeah. So she, her position is full-time plus some. The owner, the president, is no longer part of a bowling alley, so they're no longer going to be president anymore.
Who's
Scott from Park Place.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
His position was up anyway. So I'm just now getting into all of those politics. So I don't know.
They don't want me, guys. Just those in the chat that are saying I vote Tim and all of this. They don't want me in politics.
No,
see, I have something called common sense that doesn't bode well for politics.
Yeah, and it's tough. The ICBA, I feel like, and I mean, they do a lot of great things, but I do feel like sometimes that they look past your tournament bowler and on the broader spectrum, which we as proprietors do need to look at. It's not just the tournament bowler is what pays a lot of our bills, but your everyday bowler does too. And they just seem to veer in one direction, and I seem to
one direction.
Veer in the other direction. That's all. That's just the consensus I've gotten. I haven't really been to, unfortunately, a lot of meetings, but now I'm going to be. But
it's look, I've shit on the ICBA a lot over the last 20 or 30 years, and some of that's misguided just because I don't know enough about the back end stuff. I only see it from a tournament bowler standpoint.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So, take it for what it's worth, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, I guess?
Yeah. So speaking of Leda Lanes, Mixed World's coming up. I will say, let's see, it is
Tim,
back.
You're gonna make the trip down.
It is.
To watch.
Am I?
Yeah. Come down Saturday and spend the night.
I can't say what I'm gonna do. That's like a month away. Month and a half away.
I know, but you can book it now, and then you can get
I don't even know what I'm doing this weekend. I'm just saying.
There's nothing wrong.
There'll be pudding.
Oh, there will be pudding. Oh my god, I can't wait for pudding.
Only for you, Kelvin.
I know.
I would seriously. I'd like to come down. I'd like to come down and watch, but I also know that if I come down and watch, that would be really hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because my head still says I can do it. It's my body that says I can't. So
right.
We'll see.
You can just come up. Angie can drive, and you can just get drunk on the way. So then you don't even realize.
Angie does not want drunk Tim. I can tell you that right now. We had drunk Angie at the wedding,
but Calvin wants drunk Tim.
We did have we did have drunk Angie at the royal wedding.
Oh, there was a wedding? I wouldn't know. I didn't get invited.
That was it was a nice wedding. It was
a really nice wedding.
Lexy, you got invited too? Good.
Why is that such a shock? Yeah. Oh my God.
Lexy, how was the
Lexy got invited?
How was the best man speech? Was that okay?
I still haven't heard it. When are they going to
I
post the
forget
video?
who did it. What was his name?
Cole
Cole's. Yeah, it was amazing. I loved Cole's speech.
and Sonya. Sonya's best man speech was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. She should have done that, and I'm really mad she didn't.
Let's be honest. No, it was amazing. It was such a nice night. I had
It
a
was.
really
It
good
turned
time.
out. It turned out well. The weather couldn't have. A little warmer would have been nice. But,
Yeah, I mean, we were a little bit late
May,
because
bud.
Austin made me late, but we're not going to go there.
Hey, you got there in time for the ceremony.
As everybody was walking down. Yeah.
But you got there.
They thought it was for you. They were walking.
No, we're like, we're here. And they're like, no, down that way. And the whole wedding party's there. And we're like walking past them. I'm like, Austin, I do not think we're supposed to be walking this way. He's like, just come on. Let's go. And like we walked and then stood and then everyone just started coming down the freaking aisle.
But that's the beauty of that is you didn't have to sit there and wait.
I know. It was nice.
You know, you got the wedding, you got it over with, and then you had a party.
Yeah, we partied.
Yeah, that party was fun.
It was fun.
It was a good time. But anyway, back to the mixed worlds. So it's cool to see that back to 24 teams.
Yeah,
that is good to see. They're
And
going to be
again, us Canadians
guaranteeing 10 grand to the winner at a minimum. Ooh, this year at a minimum. Top 6 teams will be paid this year once they figure out sponsorship money. He'll have a prize list out.
Yeah, we're working on sponsorships. So if any bowlers businesses want to sponsor, we've got a bunch of advertising opportunities, and we're doing a cornhole tournament June 11th to benefit the prize fund as well.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be up on the Candlepin calendar tomorrow. And then we shit together.
Well, when you stop doing these spur of the moment podcasts that last minute, hey, you want to be on? Sure. When do you want to be on? How about now? Okay.
Perfect.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, kids, you don't get dinner tonight.
No. Well, they should have eaten earlier. They're old enough to make dinner themselves.
They are. And they will.
So first ball for the mixed worlds will be 2 p.m. on Friday, June 23rd. They're going to do 7 strings on 7 strings on Friday, 10 on Saturday, and the remaining 6. Yeah, okay. My God. I had to read that for some. Wait, 23? Really? Yeah. 23 strings. God, I'm so glad I'm not bowling.
Trust me, you wouldn't bowl all 23. Don't worry.
Well, not after last.
No. 8 for you is about the best, and they have to be sporadic. They got
to be the first 8. After that,
even the first 8, you weren't great.
Oh, better than you.
Yes.
First 8, I was better.
Might be.
No, there was no might about that.
I don't know if I would say you were better. You knocked down more pins than me, but I wouldn't say you were better.
Lexy, in the grand scheme of things, if someone knocks down more pins than someone else, I want to ask a proprietor this one. Who would be better?
You. Whoever knocks down the most pins.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. I hear it all. Don't worry. I hear you.
Okay.
But I mean, Tim, what place did you come in on Easter?
I came in first in my house. I didn't lose. I didn't miss a single fucking shot. It was awesome. First time in a long time I didn't miss a shot. I watched Calvin miss a lot in the 10th.
I was going to say Calvin missed a couple shots.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I hit a lot of my shots.
No, if they didn't go, then you didn't hit them.
Say
that now because I'm retired.
I hit my object pin. That is the goal of the game.
Couple of things real quick here before I forget. Let's see. We do have a doubles tournament at Bangor Brewer on May 28th. There are some spots left. They will use the end of the fall averages or this past season averages as of May 21st. He needs those. Looks like right now he's got 31 teams. So there's room for a few more. Nice. Please see Evan Riva for that one. Let's see what else we got here. Hold on. Mr. Grant just sent me the second annual women's doubles 220 event is taking place at Exeter Lanes. That is on Saturday, September 9th at 11 a.m. It's a 220 average cap as of May 31st. $160 entry fee per team. They're looking for 24 teams with a potential payout of $2,500 for first place. Defending champion Glennis McKinley and Deb DeRosa split $1,500 last year. Let's see. Please register on Candlepin chat or message Paul Grant, Faye Sawyer, or Amanda Carroll for more information. Lexi, did you bowl in that last year?
No.
I thought you did. You bowled in something.
I did. I bowled. So I took like 15 years off. And last year was the first year I bowled in a tournament. I bowled in the mixed doubles tournament at Exeter with Matt. Was the first tournament I bowled in 15 years or 20 years. It was 20 years. I bowled like in leagues here and there, but it's tough. I like being behind the counter more than I like being on the lanes. I don't bowl good. I'm not a good bowler.
Okay.
I'm not.
I can't say that when you take 15 or 20 years off from bowling.
Yeah, but even when I bowled, I wasn't. I just don't. I like being on the other end of it. I like the people, the community. I just don't like bowling. I don't like being not good at something.
I know I own a I'm a proprietor. I really don't like bowling. People are okay.
I mean, you don't want to sample your own product, right? That's kind of like. So.
I'm just kidding.
I bowled in mixed worlds last year and I did horrible. So.
But did you have fun?
I did. Yeah,
okay.
It was a good experience. I never want to do it again. But
no, listen. Nobody has fun bowling. Nobody's good at bowling. But when you have fun at the bowling alley, it's all that matters.
Yeah, but I can have fun at the bowling alley, working at the bowling alley, and not bowling.
I will admit it's far more fun when you're bowling and winning.
Yeah,
for the most part.
How would you know?
Oh wow!
How would I know?
I'm just kidding. I know that was really directed towards Kelvin, but
ouch.
I mean, I've won a tournament at Leda Lanes. I don't know if Calvin has.
No, I think other than the Easter Classic, this will be the Mixed Worlds will be the first one I have bowled. I don't think I've bowled a tournament at Leda.
Did you? Okay. Well,
other than the Easter Classic, so I've never won the Easter Classic yet. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I've won it at Leda Lanes. It's fun winning at Leda Lanes.
You ever won a tournament in Kingswood? Moncton.
No. Halifax, yes.
Yeah. Way back when nobody could remember anything.
Yep, pretty much.
You know what? You last won a tournament. Hey, look at this. This is fun. This is fun now. The Maple Leafs have made it to the second round before you've won a tournament in 20 years.
Huh?
The Leafs have made it to the second round, and you still haven't won Worlds.
I have won Worlds.
Yeah, but since the 20 years ago.
Well, I won the internet. I won the national invitational at Leda Lanes. That counts.
His name it's on our wall.
My name is on the wall.
There.
As we clearly stated, with the fact that Josh does not have your name on his ass tattooed right across it, it was not Worlds. So I don't think you're going to get away with that.
All right. Well, it was a good try. Let's see what else we got. I feel like I'm missing.
It is past my bedtime.
I was gonna say
past your bedtime. It's 8:30. It's 9:30 here. My God, I still have 3 hours left before I go to bed.
Yeah, but you don't work like she does. And she's got a meeting tomorrow. She's got a big meeting tomorrow.
She should have had that.
I do. I'm actually pretty excited.
Can you talk about it?
Well, I know it's Hall of Fame nominations. We're going over all of the Hall of Fame stuff.
So is Tim Matero's name ready for that? Or
I don't know if that list.
We're not discussing me, but I would like to put a pitch in for my sister.
I'm not. I don't know if I'm allowed to discuss candidates.
I don't think you are, but I can. I can bribe. I just saying, Karen should be in. Karen was better than me.
I will look at I
All of
have a
them.
list of all the nominations. Yeah.
How many
Some
were?
good
Do you
ones on
know?
there. I don't know off the top of my head. I've kind of looked at them in the past couple days, just going over, making notes, and whoever paid me
It's
the
a
most. I mean,
really
whoever is.
difficult. Well, this was the first time that I've ever nominated someone, and I got to tell you,
Yeah.
that nomination process,
Oh, I know.
sucks.
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
When does anything in this world not suck, Tim?
I know, but it's
It's just there's a lot of requirements for it. You have to have a lot of you have to have your shit not you have to have your stuff together, but like even then, like you have to like beyond there's a lot.
yeah, it's just it's really hard to be in a sport that doesn't have a centralized. Yes, Ian, Canadian bowlers can be nominated.
You can nominate me next year, Ian. Don't worry about it.
You have to have a list of accomplishments, though.
Yes.
To be nominated.
Second place, Easter Classic. 3-time world's champion. Thank you very much.
Well, that doesn't really count because it's a team thing.
More than you've won, so.
Oh, I don't know. So. No, I found it like trying to find my sister's stuff in order to get her nominated was not easy because she's been out of the bowling game since like 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know what she's done, and obviously people from Maine that bowled back then know what she did. But it's really hard to, unless you're really thinking about this down the road going, boy, if I just keep all of this stuff handy 30 years from now, when I'm 50 years old and can be nominated for the Hall of Fame, I find that really, it's hard. That's all.
Absolutely. And like you said, we don't have a centralized system for anything. Even state-wise, I've had people like, hey, do you have states results from no, I don't. I was given a folder of information via email and said, here you go, have fun.
Wow.
So, and bowling alleys too, not all of them, but a lot of them are still a couple years behind as far as internet websites and stuff like that. So that's another huge thing you really got to do a lot of digging, and Dottie is amazing for Easter. She's got every single piece of information from first tournament on. And like, there's so many times that she's given us binders that like we go back for just stuff like that to look back at. And there's not that for states or, and I know, Nick Norcross does a lot and Dave Barber, they do a lot of putting stuff together, and, that's huge here. And I would love to have something a little bit more centralized. I don't think it's
well, I think it's been difficult. I will say the one good thing that not one good thing, but a good thing that the Maine Association has done is they have on their website all of the tournament winners for the last, I think it was like all the way back to 2004.
Yeah.
Online. And then after, I had to go back, and thankfully I had some stuff. And then I had to go to like Judy Bowden had stuff, Frank Lane had stuff from Freiburg. He kept all of it. It was not an easy process.
No, it's tough. It is tough. And that is, and if you like have somebody like we'd love to nominate my grandfather just because of what, he's done for the community and stuff like that. But we don't have a lot of stuff. Like we could just say like he did a lot for the community. Like it's hard to verbalize or, to put on paper, like when you don't have that like physical, factual, like piece of paper.
Well, and then trying to go back, to these newspapers and be like, hey, do you have, half of them look at you like, what? You want to go back to 1995? What?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus,
Yeah.
Lexi.
Sorry.
So, no, it's just I hope as you move through the ranks of the New Hampshire states and things like that that you could Sue says he used to fly his own plane and pick people up for tournaments.
Yeah, he did.
Holbrook told me one story flying into, I almost want to say it was Nashua. There was like
Yeah.
to a tour. Someone, was that your grandfather like picked him up or something?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's
See?
Him, yeah, right? He started as a pin boy when he was 8 or 9. He was a pin boy, and then he got older, and him and his brothers, the draft came, and they pulled straws of who was going to stay with mom and who was going to go off to war, and he picked the shorter straw and built a bowling alley with his brother. And it's and he would fly bowlers to horse races too. That's mainly why he had the plane, because he had a lot of racehorses, and he would go to New York, New Jersey, Florida for the races, but he would use his plane to pick up bowlers and bring them to tournaments.
So that's where the Triple Crown tournament came into play, right?
Yeah, that's where we had come up with the idea of we had said we wanted to do like a 5. We're doing 5, 10, and 15 this year because 20 people just, everyone cries and complains that they would do Easter if it wasn't on Sunday and it wasn't on Easter. So we did a 20 string on a Saturday, and nobody wanted to do it, because it was the summertime, or we had this going on or that going on. So, we knew we wanted to do a 5, 10, and 20. We're doing 15 now. But we knew we wanted to do something like that. And I was talking to my dad, and I said, why don't we do like a Triple Crown, like in homage of Ray? Like, he loved racehorses, and that's where that kind of came from. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So how old is Leda Lanes?
1959.
Wow. Okay. So it's 64 years.
Yeah, we started with lanes 19 through 36, and then in 82 put the other 1 through 18 in and kind of reconfigured things. So
okay,
that's why one steps down and one straight out.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, separate times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
So are you guys going to be able to pick up any bowlers from Park Place, or?
We don't want any bowler to go without. So if we're able to accommodate them, we're able to accommodate them. I, commented and said, we'll take any bowlers, and if we can't, I'll gladly, I know Timmy from Lakeside had said, they would take some people, Rob, anywhere. I know Josh had said they're full. They can't accommodate any more leagues, but, during the normal time they could do later during the day.
Fridge.
So we're definitely.
Tell Joe to get out of the fridge.
There's Joe and Riley. They just came home. They got groceries. So we're willing to. I know, we had reached out and said we've got availability. So when, if we don't want any bowler to be without.
So Park Place is closed. Like, they're done.
Yeah. They're done. They closed their doors on Saturday. They told their employees on Friday. We had heard a couple different rumors throughout that they weren't closing, that they were closing, that they were going to be a 10-pin house or half 10-pin. And then they told their employees on Friday that they were closing on Saturday, and they were done.
Oh my God.
Yeah, how was that?
No comment.
I don't know. It's
look, they owned it. They sold it. They certainly do what they want to do. Tim could be talking about the most serious thing, and he would stop to mention about it. I get wicked squirrel moments. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, shiny.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. that sucks. I hate losing centers. I know Park Place isn't what it used to be, and I get that, but it was still a viable center. It was still a viable
Oh
business.
yeah, I think any of that impact hurts the community. You're going to have people like, well, definitely, we've talked about it. We'll accommodate whoever, but you're going to have people that don't want to travel or don't. People will travel and people aren't going to want to travel. I've got some league bowlers that travel an hour and a half each week to come bowl at our bowling alley, and it just
Look,
I don't know. I have to.
You're preaching to someone that lived in the
I
middle
know.
of Rockland and bowled in Exeter, New Hampshire, which
Right.
was 2.5 hours away. Now, granted, that was once a month, but I did it.
But still, yeah, absolutely.
I also bowled for 2.5 years at Vacation Land when it was open, which is an hour and 45 minutes from my house. I bowled every Monday.
Yeah.
So I get it. I know what it's like when you're comfortable at a house and you know the people and you like bowling there and you have fun, then you'll make those sacrifices to do it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sad to see it go. I mean, it hurts the community, but
too bad you just got new pins. You could have tried to grab some.
We reached out today to ask about any parts, and they've all been accounted for apparently. So I guess this is something that I don't know.
Wow. Hopefully you'll find it in 39 days and we won't have to worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah. Need to have them ready for the mixed worlds.
Oh, we've got new pins. We're good. Our pins are good to go.
No,
yeah, we're good.
All the parts and stuff. You got.
It's just hard. That's hard as being a proprietor, and there is thankfully there's people that are working to get parts and stuff like that. But it's hard. It's just a hard.
Well, your machines aren't. I mean, Seuss obviously can talk about this probably more than anyone because of the work he does. But they don't even make those machines anymore, do they?
No.
So what you really need to do is find a machine shop that can fabricate and make.
Yeah, we have Nick Leach who bowls. He was one of the bowlers for the States. His grandfather and dad and uncle both worked for us for a while, so they're very close family. He works in a machine shop and he does make some of our parts, our bolts, and I don't know what they're called. The rollers that go on our sweeps and the metal circle thingy that's got the hole that's.
So basically, I should have had Seuss on.
I love this.
You should have. You should have. Yeah.
We should have had Seuss on with you, and he would have he would have made fun of you the entire time.
Yeah.
I know how to fix it. I just don't know the correct terminology for it. I'll just say the click thing, the thing that goes like this and this and this and.
Yeah. I'm gonna come down and get a job there, and I want you to train me. So what's wrong? Well, this little clicky thingy fits in the little circle thingy, and then you just the clicky, and that's the flippy and done.
And then sometimes,
but it's fixed, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and then sometimes you fall through the boardwalk there. I remember that one. That was what last year.
I did do that
2 years ago.
Yeah, last September, he tried to kill me. I wasn't paying attention, and he left the catwalk open, and I was looking and talking to him, and walked, and it was open, and I fell through. And I don't know if you guys have seen the back of, but the belts that bring the pins down have metal guides on them, and my eye was like 2 inches from getting sliced open. I had a black eye.
I remember the snaps. Those are some pretty bruises.
gnarly. Yeah, last September. Yeah, it was very painful. But he said that's one way to own a bowling alley is take me out, but he didn't. So.
Well, he's making the effort to find one. That's
Yeah.
I love the rolling of the eyes. Yeah. So we're over the time, and we didn't get to
we do that.
Anything you wanted to get to.
Yeah, we do that. With
Shocking.
which is, you know, for our show is
the
kind of
norm.
par for
The
course.
norm.
Whatever.
We just do what we want.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Thank you, Lexy, for because I
Thank
know
you.
we kept
I
you
didn't
up
yawn. I stopped.
No, I know. No. I know you're well past your bedtime. We get that. You know, I know when you get older, you got to go to bed earlier. So
I just go to bed earlier because I wake up. I'll be up from like 1 to 5 a.m. and then I go back to bed. So I just gotta, spread it out.
sorry, Ian goes. If Brian goes missing in 2 weeks, I'll be on standby.
No, we don't want to have him on there. He won't shut up. He's worse than you, Tim. He won't shut up.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying, we wouldn't have to have a show. He'd just talk and wouldn't shut up.
Well, that's good. It gives you a break.
You know, I will say this. Well, Lexi, what we haven't done in a while is we haven't talked things other than bowling. Like, I kind of miss some of those Friday episodes.
I know the Friday episodes are fun, where we just laugh about everything else that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Look, we keep talking about a top 10, but that's usually when the summer is over and when we have, like in July months, when there's really nothing to talk about, we just do top 10s. So.
That's right. We should top 10.
We say this.
Chips.
We say this at the end of every
Top
episode.
10 candy.
Ooh, fuzzy.
Oh.
Mm.
What'd you say, Calvin?
Fuzzy peaches.
The fuck is fuzzy peach?
Like the peach rings?
No.
Is that what you mean?
Well, yes, but no. They're just they're like peach shaped and it's fuzzy. It's like the peach rings, but I don't think I have any. Do I have any?
I have never.
I expect some June 23rd, 24th, and 25th, since you got a chocolate bunny on Easter.
I know he was my mascot.
You got a chocolate bunny?
He was my mascot throughout the day. I brought him with me and I bowled awesome all day. He was my mascot.
How come I didn't get a chocolate bunny?
Because you didn't show up to Easter.
I was here for Easter.
You should have been at Leda.
Yeah, you would have gotten
Well,
chocolate bunny and some pudding.
If my back gets fixed, we'll see. I have an appointment coming up within the next couple of months to determine the course of action for my back. If they tell me that they can fix it, then odds are my retirement will be short-lived. If they tell me that they can't fix it, then odds are my retirement will be long-lived. Long-lived. So
yeah,
I would like to. I do. That's my only regret that I have in bowling is that I did not bowl the Easter Classic. That's it. That's the only one. Oh well. Anywho, folks, thank you. Lexi, thank you for joining us. We appreciate having you on. Folks, as you know, you can send your questions and comments to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter at Ripping the Rack Podcast.
Big
Calvin,
Booty Brian?
You're not Big Booty Brian.
No.
Do you want to play the role of Big Booty Brian and do
the views and expressions of Ripping the Rack Podcast of Calvin, Tim, and this week's special guest Lexi are those of Tim, Calvin, and this week's guest Lexi. And if you're not down with that, we have 2 words for you. Suck it.
Well, apparently you're also supposed to where else they can hear us, but I'll do that part.
That's all right.
You can also hear us on Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, iHeart, iTunes, and wherever else you may listen or watch your podcasts. Thank you, Lexi. We appreciate having you on.
Thank you.
That was fun.
You.
And
thank you, Paul.
Go Celtics.
Thank you.
Go Heat.
Go Celtics.
Go Heat.
Go Celtics.